skipped it again.
No, we're here.
Oh, okay.
Why'd you? Oh, I thought you put the iPad down.
I'm like dropping the mic.
All right. Well, finally, we apologize for the late start. Honestly, today has been.
Yeah, buddy. I don't even know where that is.
All right. Well, it's right there by your phone. We apologize for the late start. Honestly, at this point, I'm so beside myself. But anyway, welcome back to another Shit Talk Fridays. I'm Gina.
And I'm Evo. And thank you for tuning in after the technical difficulties that we just had. Can I say that today has been a real one?
Yo, true story. Edgar, welcome to the stream. And I'm just going to say this. I appreciate everybody who's viewing us, because when I tell you that we had difficulties today beyond anything that we have ever experiencing in our entire motherfucking live stream.
Yo, Edgar.
And hi, Melissa. Welcome to the stream.
Technical issues is probably saying it lightly.
But you know what? I like, honestly, I just can't even. I'm just so like used to it at this point now.
No, but this has definitely
this is some real shit.
By far
some
has fucking shit. Took the fucking
put the icing
on the cake. I mean, what were we troubleshooting for like at least 2 hours?
Yeah, probably more than that.
Yeah.
And yes, Edgar, 2 mics. Oh boy. And we're doing it for you guys.
Yeah, we're stepping it up a bit.
Right? We are stepping it up a bit.
How do we sound?
But I will say this, stepping it up causes fucking problems.
Yeah. Definitely causes problems.
Fucking problems.
We upgraded microphones, we upgraded video cards.
Oh my god.
We upgraded some other gear. We upgraded our camera.
I'm just done with life today.
So yeah, adding all that stuff to the system definitely threw a couple curveballs at us.
Anyway,
but we're here.
Let's start off tonight's stream. Yo, where my dogs at?
We right here, dog.
Yo, where my dogs at?
We right here.
Hey, dog. Arr, arr. Listen, we all know that today that we lost a legend in the rap game. DMX has passed on to the other side, and I just want to say I hope he was welcomed with open arms into heaven by Tupac and Biggie.
And Aaliyah.
Yo, especially Aaliyah. Oh my god, that actually makes me like a little bit emotional, because you know how I feel about her.
I know how you feel about her.
Yeah, so we lost a giant today, and it is a sad story, but at the same time, I believe that he's in a better place.
Yeah, I mean, one would like to think so.
Yeah, I would. And I know that his first album was "As Dark and Hell Is Hot," but you know he was speaking through his pain, and
yeah,
I don't think it was anything other than his pain, and he was kind of using hell as like his symbolism behind it. What up, fam? Eddie, welcome to the stream.
Eddie, what's up, brother?
Thank you for joining us tonight. We appreciate you.
Welcome.
Especially after our fucking delayed entrance tonight. But anyway, so tonight we want to honor DMX. We're going to talk to you a little bit about him, maybe share some things with you about him that maybe you didn't know, or maybe you do know. We're just going to reminisce a little bit.
But before we get into that,
sure.
You know, ever since I saw a documentary on people passing, right? It's a documentary about people who have died and come back to life.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a different outlook on death, and I can't say that I've been fearful of death, but then again, I've never been that close to death to say that, you know, I know what it's like,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, so I'm speaking prematurely about not being fearful to death. I just don't know what the actual fear is. But very interested in it, and saw a documentary, and it's about people who passed and came back, and all of them said that they were ready to die again because that's how beautiful it was being on the other side,
Mm-hmm.
and that after they died and came back, that they had no fear of dying whatsoever, and they all said the same thing. So I always like to think that people who pass, even though we miss them and we cry and we mourn them, that they definitely are in a better place. You know,
Yeah.
we do say, like, you know, hope they're in a better place, but after seeing that, I'm pretty sure that it is a better place.
Yeah, I would totally agree with that. So, and Baron, welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining us.
Welcome.
We appreciate you. I would like to start off by saying that I will never forget the first time that I heard DMX. I was in my backyard. It was obviously 1998. And I remember thinking to myself, is this guy barking? And then like my second thought was, yo, I'm totally with this right now. You know, I'm a cat lover, but I was all about the barking. And I can just tell you that I felt like DMX had, if not one of the hardest voices in the industry. His voice was undeniable. Like, when any song you ever heard DMX on, you knew it was DMX. There was no questioning it. Like, you know how sometimes you can hear a song and maybe you mistake it for another artist, or
Yeah.
maybe like you hear an artist maybe make their flow a little bit different. You're like, is that such and such? That was not the case with
Definitely
DMX.
not. DMX was one of a kind. And let me tell you something. I'm pretty sure the first time I heard DMX was "Get at Me, Dog," and I can't tell you how it made me feel. Like, it made me get in touch with, like, the deepest, like, most angriest parts of myself that I probably always suppressed
Yeah.
out of being PC,
Yeah.
and just made you want to let it out.
And that is actually in one of my notes. His music made me feel fucking invincible.
Yes.
His music made me feel like I could run through a fucking brick wall.
Yes.
And salute to him. I did a badass workout to his music today, to the point where, like, again, I felt fucking invincible. I felt like those weights, they hurt, but like I was gonna push through it, just listening to his voice and his lyrics, and how he like ran with the beats. And one of the things I truly appreciate about DMX is that he had one of the coldest flows. And what I mean by that is like, if you listen to a lot of his songs, he's telling a story from beginning to end, but he's telling it in a way where it's like, it's intense.
It's my favorite part of rap. It's the art of storytelling.
Yeah, it was like, it had like this level of intensity behind it, where you almost feel like you had like a little bit of anxiety listening to the story. Like, does that make sense? Because, like, you know, sometimes you listen to rap songs, and when you listen to them, you listen to a story, but, like, I almost get, like, anxiety listening to some of DMX's songs, because I'm like, yo, what the fuck is he talking about?
Yeah, you
and,
felt
like,
it.
the little skits that he would do.
Yeah.
You remember my favorite one? When the guy would knock on the door, he'd be like, it's me.
It's me, Mickey.
It's Mickey.
Mickey.
He'd be like, hi, and he like busts off in the door. Like, even those little skits would give me like this sense of anxiety, like my palms would sweat a little bit, and like there would be like this build of anticipation, waiting to hear what he was gonna say next.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like I have really ever felt that in another artist.
Yeah, I mean, a good example of that was Damien, the song Damien. That story right there.
The snake, the rat, the cat, the dog.
That song right there, like, it embodies the art of storytelling.
Agreed.
And I think it's just I think what makes DMX so great is that he was literally, and I mean literally, the underdog. And when I say the underdog, he came out in a time where everybody was doing the flashy videos,
Agreed.
the jewelry,
Agreed.
the fancy clothes, the big booty girls, and
look at that picture that we have of him.
yes. Let's pull this up right here.
Looking thug life.
Right? This was DMX coming in the scene where everybody was flashing money and got the high budget videos. And I saw something where Irv Gotti was trying to break DMX, and nobody wanted to let him in. They were just like, hell no, what, this guy barking like a dog?
Exactly.
And Irv Gotti was like, yo, this is that dude.
Yeah.
And he said that the first time that he got him in and he got him signed and he played him they shot the video at the tunnel, which was the Get At Me Dog. And it was just that, get at me dog, in the tunnel. And it was just flashing strobe lights and just nothing but gritty bodies in a club. And it was just gritty. And as soon as that song broke out, yo, DMX took over. He broke out on a scene and he paved his own lane, and that's what made him one of the greats. I mean, in his own right. I mean, like how you break into a scene like that and just to start taking over, that's a presence.
That shit was 100% raw.
Yeah.
There was nothing fluffy about that music whatsoever.
Nah.
Okay, there was no fluff, there was no lights, there was no camera. That shit was straight raw. And I think one of the reasons I connected so hard with DMX is that I was a huge Wu-Tang fan. And being a huge Wu-Tang fan, when you see another artist like DMX that possesses that energy of that rawness of the streets, it just connected with me because I was a person that came from an environment that was similar to what he was talking about. So like I connected with it. And being a female, there were times in my life that I felt like I was the underdog. I was the person that people didn't expect what they saw from me. And his music empowered me. It made me feel like, yo, fuck this, whatever, get at me, dog. Like, that's how I felt when I listened to his music. And Melissa says, damn, the tunnel, I'm old. Melissa, we are all old.
Yo, in all honesty, like, his music just brought the delinquent out of me.
Hello, I told you it made me feel invincible.
Yeah.
His music made me feel like
Yeah.
I could run through fucking walls.
Yeah, it really had me, running around with no shame whatsoever.
Oh shit. Edgar says DMX was a better storyteller than Biggie. I said it.
You know, I'm sure that's debatable in many ways. They're both greats.
Yeah.
But yeah, DMX was a poet. He was a poet, and I don't think. I mean, Biggie was a good storyteller, but I don't believe. Yeah, I mean, he had some songs that were kind of poetic, but I mean, DMX went deep.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
You know what I find really interesting about DMX, and I feel like I can identify with this, is that DMX can lyrically write a rap and rhyme it with ease. But have you ever seen him in interviews? Do you not feel like somewhat he struggles to bring across what he's saying? It comes out, but it like almost trickles.
Yeah, because you know.
But wait. So what I'm saying is like, I so identify with that because I personally, I'm like the opposite. I'm not good at writing, but I'm good at speaking. So like, I can have all these thoughts in my mind, but to put them on paper almost seems trivial to me. But to speak it seems so, it like ignites me. And I feel like it was the opposite for him. I feel like, you know, speaking it, you know, it was different for him. But when he put it on a piece of paper and then he went in it and he went from that and like then put it his words to like his vision, it was like a different form of art for him.
Well, the interesting thing about X was that, and I call him X because that's what we called him.
Yeah.
You know, even though like
Yeah.
after him came XXX Tentacion.
Mm-hmm.
The interesting thing about X was that he was who he was as a rapper. So a lot of rappers, they have like their alter ego, who
Yeah.
they are as a rapper, than who they are in real life. When you saw DMX in an interview, he spoke like this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, that's I feel you. You know what I mean?
That's my
You know what I'm
man.
saying? Pass the salt, pass the ketchup.
Yo, real talk.
So you know, I feel like that, because a lot of his stuff was written, and when he rapped it, it came out poetic. That when he spoke and it was just raw, you kind of got like that gritty, like that unstructured kind of like, you know, conversation from him that was very rough around the edges.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, look, remember his song with Drew Hill with Cisco.
Mm-hmm.
What these bitches want from a nigga.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you compare that to like Biggie's Dreams of Fucking an R&B Bitch.
Mm.
You know what? They're both kind of about the same thing,
Mm-hmm.
but Biggie's is just more like, you know,
It's flowy.
flowy and Biggie style, and DMX is just like from the heart. Like it's just pain and just suffering, you know, and it's like it's almost like he speaks about like the gift and the curse of life. And
well, he talks, if I'm not mistaken, in an interview, DMX talks about that. He talks about how his ability to rap was a gift and a curse.
well, he attributes that to his misfortune of what happened to him when he got exposed to drugs.
Mm-hmm.
He said something came of that persona, that person that developed out of that, and that was the gift and the curse of his life.
Agreed.
Which is crazy.
So Melissa says a bitch was barking and growling all day, and I can attest to that. We were on the phone and people were walking past her. She was like, "Arr, arr," and I was with that.
Get at me, dog.
And then Edgar says there are music programs that you can freestyle on a mic and can be put to paper, speech to text.
Yeah, I mean, but was that existent back when?
No, I think he may be referring to me.
Okay.
Or I could be wrong, but I kind of connect with DMX in that way. And I also think about it in my art of makeup. I think about how when it comes to makeup, there are people who will do what is a face chart prior to executing a makeup look. You know, they'll draw what it is that they envision. I cannot do that. It actually does the opposite for me. It actually frustrates me. I rather just sit down and think about what my vision is in my brain and then just put it on a face. It works better for me that way. So like I understand different artists work in different ways. So like when I saw DMX in an interview, there were times I felt like he's struggling because his brain is processing different from what his words are coming out right now. And I understood that about him. But so the first album that I heard from DMX was the same album that most people probably heard from him, which is It's Dark and Hell is Hot. And real quick, hold on. I just want to share with everybody.
Oh no. Did she not pull out the book of CDs?
And I almost forgot that I had these, but yo, It's Dark and Hell is Hot. This right here. I wish I could, you know how you can tell how many streams are, like, you know, when you're on Spotify and like it tells you how many times you streamed the song? I wish I could tell you how many times this CD was played in my CD Walkman. This album got me through.
Well, let's see. Let me see something real quick.
No, I took care of my shit. I'm not that person.
I mean, you know, you could see a bit of wear.
Okay. This CD got me through a lot of shit. Okay. So I want to just share a story with you. When I was 18, I left New York where I was born and raised, and I moved to New Jersey, and I got a job waitressing, and I used to work, you know, the dinner shift, and I used to get out of work sometimes 11, 12 o'clock at night. I didn't have a car, so I used to have to take the bus late at night by myself. And as you can see, I'm of small stature. Okay, but guess what?
You little chihuahua.
Yes. But when you at the bus stop at 11, 12 o'clock at night screaming, "Get at me, dog!" Okay? People stay the fuck away from you. So DMX, thank you for allowing people to think that I was fucking off my meat rocker, because it looked like I was singing something off the wall to them. And I lived in the town of New Jersey that was like very PC. So was nobody listening to fucking DMX? And in addition to that, flesh of my flesh, blood of my blood.
Yeah. I'm
a DMX fan. I will always be a DMX fan. And honestly, like I'm a little, I'll be honest, like I'm a little choked up right now, because when I tell you that this album got me through some shit, it got me through some shit that was at a time in my life that, like, I was going through a hard time. I was away from my family. I was by myself. And I will say his music made me feel invincible.
And I'm sure, you know, that was the case for a lot of people. I mean, he definitely touched a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you gotta love him for that. I mean, I saw in an interview, again with Irv Gotti, that he was talking about how DMX was one of the nicest people. Like he liked to be in places with no security, and he would talk to everybody and take pictures to everybody.
Yeah.
But if he found out that you was a rapper,
he was like, "Yo, fam, get out of here."
Over for you. He was that competitive as a rapper.
Yeah.
He hated all and every rapper because he felt like he was better than every rapper out there.
Yeah.
He felt like he was number one in the game and there was no competition. So to your comment before, Edgar, I believe that if you ask DMX, he would tell you 110,000% that he will wipe Biggie out the box.
You could take down the picture.
Because that's just the type of guy who he was.
And Eddie says, "Oh man, Gina pulled out the Case Logic CD binder. You damn straight." And I actually have condensed a lot of my belongings as far as like memorabilia things, and I chose to only keep things that truly meant something to me. And those two albums meant a lot to me, so they will stay with me forever. So It's Dark and Hell is Hot. That album, 0 skips. You listen to that album from the first track to the last track, straight through. Like, tell me how many albums you could do that with today.
They're far and few in between.
Yes, I would 100% agree with that. And I don't even know, like, I'm not trying to say that the music of this time is not quality, because you know that I do feel like there is quality music of this time. But that album is Dark and Hell is Hot. And the reason why I'm referring to this album again is because I have such an affinity for this album. But there are 0 skips. And there's a story from the first track to the last track. And it's almost like you're going to when you binge watch a fucking series, you know, like Dark as Hell is Hot was like season 1 of fucking DMX, you know. But
well, I honestly feel like that was almost part of the music, the evolution of music in that time when we were growing up. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because prior to that, you know, it was this formula of put 2 hits on an album. Yeah. And then you had an album, and then you could just kind of fill it in with okay songs, and that would be an album. But then you had artists at some point wanting to go above and beyond that, and they started giving you really, really good albums. Yeah. And I mean, putting like bodies of work together. And I mean, we got to experience that in its full, like when it was in full effect. And then I believe it kind of started to die out, especially when music became a lot more accessible through internet. And then artists kind of like reverted back to just doing the hits. Yeah. And just focusing on hits. So, you know, that was kind of a special time that we got to be a part of.
Funny story though, DMX does talk about how he likes XXX Attention. He did give him, and the funny thing is, one of his Triple X's last album, I listened to that album from beginning to end, like, yeah. And I've listened to that album repeatedly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but we got that. It's funny because we got that in that era all across the board, all across all genres, like rock. Oh, rock,
are you talking about in
country,
like the 90s?
Yeah, country, rap, hip hop, R&B. I mean, you had all of these artists putting bodies of work on albums. Yeah. Just amazing stuff, man.
I would agree. Yeah. And Melissa says, I can listen to the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill straight through. Yep. That is the truth. That album, Zion, that song for me, whoo, girl. Yeah. So not only did It's Dark and Hell is Hot album premiere at number 1, his second album, which is Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood, which came out that same fucking year, premiered at number 1. DMX then went on to have 5 total albums in the next 5 years that all premiered at fucking number 1 in the United States. Fire. He is the number 5 top selling rap artist of all time. Number 5.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Fucking X, baby.
Number 5 fucking albums in 5 fucking years. Premiering at number 1. So he's a fucking legend. He's a GOAT. But some fun facts about DMX that I don't know if anybody knows about this, but if you haven't heard this, please, I would implore you to please go and see this afterwards. Please tell me y'all remember when DMX premiered on 105.1 and this fucking guy sang Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. He rapped it. That is the only Christmas music that I play in my house. I'm playing the fucking Mariah Carey.
Yeah.
I play DMX singing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer had a very shiny nose. And if you ever saw him, you would even say ear closed.
You know, honestly, that was a classic moment in DMX's career, but it was a little bit of a bittersweet moment for me because I knew that was like towards the later part of his career.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And he wasn't doing much. And then like the one time I do see him, he's on a radio station singing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. You know, and it was like, damn, like really, X, after everything, like this is what it is now. I mean, but it's a classic moment, and it's, I don't know, it was like I said, it was bittersweet for me.
Yeah, I honestly love that shit so much about him because as rough as he is, as raw as he is, I feel like that showed that side of him that showed how sweet he was.
Yeah, that's the fun side of him. Yeah.
And Edgar says DMX helped create the Rough Riders that included Jadakiss, yet Jadakiss is considered a better rapper lyricist than DMX. Do you agree? I would totally disagree with that. I do not consider Jadakiss a better rapper than DMX.
You know, Jadakiss has a flow that is bananas, and so in that sets Jadakiss apart from DMX. I mean, and Jadakiss,
he's asking if he's a better rapper. He's not asking about his flow, Evo.
Okay, but your your flow is part of who you are as a rapper.
Yeah, but overall, as a rapper, just put them all in the package. Put their flow, put their lyrics, put their everything.
You know what? I want to say a lyricist.
No, as a rapper.
Okay, what's the difference between a rapper and a lyricist?
No. When you win an award, do you win an award for best lyricist? You win an award for best.
You can get an award for best lyrics.
No. In the Grammys, in BT, even in the Source, you're winning for best rapper, best hip hop. Okay, so you are the whole. They're considering you as a whole package. Your lyrics, your content, your videos, whatever. So if we're gonna compare DMX to Jadakiss,
you know, that's a tough one. I'd really have to go through their catalog because I fuck with them both hard.
Really?
You know,
I just told you that DMX had 5 albums in 5 years that premiered at number 1. Does Jadakiss have that?
I heard what you said. I don't have Jadakiss's stats, so I can't say that. I said I would have to go through their catalogs because I fuck with both of them hard.
Okay. I would say that I personally myself do not think that Jadakiss is a better rapper than DMX. I think DMX is a fucking icon. And I think when we look back at history as the best rappers, we're not going to think about Jadakiss. We're going to think about DMX. But that's my personal opinion. In addition to DMX introducing us to the Rough Riders, I would like to thank DMX for introducing me to Eve. She was the first lady of Rough Riders. Mm-hmm. And when I tell you I fucked hard with fucking Eve, okay, she again was another rapper that made me feel fucking invincible listening to her music. Still to this day, I will quote her first album. Remember the skit? Philly's where I'm from. Oh. Do you remember that skit when in one of her skits on her first album, one of the guys, they walk in and they're asking for a Philly cheesesteak, and they was like, yo, Habibi, let me get a Philly cheesesteak with salt, pepper. He was like, what the fuck are you talking about, my friend? And he was like, I'm from Lehigh. And he was like, no, my brother built buildings over there. And like, that skit for me will go down to my grave with me. Like, when they bury me, they're gonna be like, Gina loved this skit from fucking Eve.
Yeah, there was definitely some good tracks on that album.
So
for sure.
I thank DMX for introducing me to Eve and introducing Eve to the industry and making her a part of Rough Riders. Oh, and Emily, hello. Thank you so much for saying hi.
What's up, Emily?
So nice. So I appreciate you insisting to say hi. So, I thank DMX for that because he put another female artist into the industry that she came out hard. And you know that I identify very synonymous with women that come out and they have no fucks to give.
Yeah. It's interesting. Before you move on, interesting thing on Rough Riders anthem, right?
Mm-hmm.
So do you know that DMX initially didn't want to do Rough Riders anthem?
I do know this.
You do know this?
Yes, I actually I heard his interview where he talks about this, where he talks about why he didn't want to do it.
He didn't like the beat.
Yes, he was just like, this ain't me.
This ain't me, right? And you know why he ended up doing the song?
Now, actually, that detail I don't remember why he did it, but tell me, please.
So, just so y'all all know, we were all this close from not getting Rough Riders Anthem.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you how we got it. DMX wasn't feeling the beat. Swiss was like, you know, this is what it is, you know, and he's trying to get X to get on the beat. X didn't want to. He said it wasn't my flow. It's nothing about it. DMX had somebody that used to roll with him all the time in the studio. They ended up placing the song on a bet, on a card game, and if his uncle won or lost the game, I think it was his uncle or somebody that he was with, won or lost the game, then DMX would have to do the song.
Oh shit!
And they lost, and that's the only reason DMX went in there and did the song.
Well, you know what? God intervened at that point.
What?
And God was like, "You're gonna do this song, sir."
Imagine we wouldn't have got Rough Riders Anthem, huh?
Doom, doom, doom,
Huh?
doom, 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 doom.
You know what I'm saying? Like this right here, yo. Let me tell you something. I've never seen when I saw this video. I never seen anything like this in my life. I mean, I grew up in certain parts of New York. For many years, I was working in New York. I've seen knuckleheads like this riding around the streets on dirt bikes and stuff like that. And you see them in like packs of like maybe 5 or 6.
Mm-hmm.
In this video, there must be like 100 bikes out.
And listen, did you see what they did recently while DMX was in the hospital?
No.
People went and rode past the hospital on forerunners, on four wheels.
Quads.
And quads. What am I saying? Like four wheels. Those are the fucking things that kids ride on quads and on motorcycles. And then people were playing the Rough Riders Anthem as they rode past, like as a homage to DMX.
The movement that this started with bikers in the cities and the stunts that these dudes were doing. I mean, they were riding these quads up and down project steps.
Hell yeah.
Like just wilding out down the highways, doing wheelies, like on quads. And I mean, just like the stunts were just crazy. And I never seen anything like this, bro. I just didn't know that people could turn up to this level.
So Melissa says, best line ever. Mind your business, lady. Nosy people get it too. You want to see me spit at you? You know my shit is
Yeah, I know it's pitiful. That's how people get down. Watch my niggas get round. Yo.
Oh, you think it's funny? You don't know me, money. It's about to get fucking dog. I'm hungry.
Yep.
So, let's wrap up our little section for DMX tonight. The one last thing that I have for I just have one last thing that I want.
I have one more too.
One last thing that I want to mention about DMX that you kind of touched on it earlier in the hour was when DMX goes to heaven, I hope he's welcomed with open arms by Aaliyah, because one of my favorite songs by DMX and the long lost Aaliyah, who was, for me, when I say the artist that I will forever miss, they did a song together called Back in One Piece, and they did it for the soundtrack of Romeo Must Die, which is the second to last movie that Aaliyah completed before her passing, and DMX has like a small part in that. So to know that they did a movie together and then they did a song together, and to now know that potentially that they are in heaven together, that shit brings me so much peace, because when I tell you that those two artists together probably hold the most weight for me. Well, when it comes to like my younger years,
something something that I saw in that show that I was telling you about, people who passed, is that they've all said that someone was on the other side that they knew waiting for them.
Yeah.
So.
Well, trust me, DMX knows many people. And hello, Stephanie. Welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And I just realized that Evil, that you and I both have black shirts on.
Really?
We kind of blend in with the.
This whole time you didn't realize that?
No, you know what? You know why I didn't notice it? Because we were stressed the fuck out before this live.
Yeah, we were.
So I just realized that we both have black shirts on, and that, you know, we kind of blend in with the background. That's probably not the best idea going forward. But please share with us your last tidbit of DMX, because we are honoring this man tonight.
One last fun fact about DMX before we move on to the next topic was the song "What's My Name," where he's like, he starts off the song like, "You think it's a game? You think it's a fucking game?" And then, he's like, "What's my name? DMX. So I see you rested. He's best. Open like they be the best. One more time." So that song right there, turns out, and I'm bringing up Irv Gotti again because I watched a couple of interviews when I was like, doing a little bit of research on DMX. He was saying that they were in the studio. And DMX was so competitive that every time that he met with Irv Gotti and he met with studio execs, he always had some type of issue, that he was trying to push, or some type of agenda, because that's what he was. DMX was a pusher, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
that's that street life.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I think he was beefing with Irv Gotti because Irv Gotti was trying to produce Ja Rule, and
yes, he
was. And he felt like that Ja Rule was taking his style.
And you know what? I have a little piece behind that.
Yes. So he felt like Ja Rule was taking his style. And so they were in the studio and DMX was about to record this track, and him and Irv were getting into it. And there was some words said to along the fact that, I guess that Irv wasn't happy with DMX. And so DMX ended up, DMX and him did not end up settling that, and he went into the booth with that still brewing. And when he went into the booth, those were the first with that tension. Those were the first words that came out of his mouth. He looked at Irv right in his face in the booth, and he's like, "You think this is a game? You think this is a motherfucking game? What's my name?" And so, like, what you got in that song was the actual rage and tension that was built up in the studio that day between him and Irv.
Yeah.
And now every time you listen to that song, remember that was actual aggression.
That was actual emotion.
Yeah, that was actual emotion that he was having at that moment. It wasn't just something that he was like, "Okay, I'm gonna go into the studio and I'm gonna go into the booth and I'm gonna bring this energy out." No, like, my man came in there ready to, like, kill.
Yeah, he was ready to set it off.
Yeah, he was ready to set it off.
So, funny story, and we'll end with this. One of the things that a lot of people don't know, DMX was really good for being his own hype man. He'd get out there and he'd be like, "Yo, where my dogs at?" Right? Like, he get the crowd riled up all by himself. He didn't need nobody. But if y'all didn't know this, prior to him being his own hype man, Ja Rule was DMX's first hype man. So,
oh shit,
that has a lot to do with why DMX also had that feeling that Ja Rule was potentially trying to steal his style, because Ja Rule had that deep voice similar to DMX, but let's keep it real, they're definitely very different. But I could understand why maybe DMX's ego stood forward and said, "This dude trying to steal my style," because Ja Rule did at certain times come across a little hardcore, even though he really wasn't. But we all know the story, and 50 Cent made sure he put fucking Ja Rule in the dirt.
Yeah, you know what the interesting thing was, that I'm glad
Jeffrey Atkins.
I'm glad that it happened, was that Irv produced Ja Rule, and he also produced a lot of songs that DMX came out with. And in the end, it was just that DMX wasn't trying to he wasn't gonna do those songs that DMX,
because the songs that Ja Rule were doing were more poppy.
Yeah, where would I be without you?
Yeah,
would I be without my baby? Like, Irv had these songs he wanted to put out. X wasn't doing that shit.
Nah, hell no.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. And these are all hit songs, So, I mean, I think Gotti did the right thing, but it is what it is.
So yeah, I would say that DMX is a legend. He's a fucking icon, and he will go down in hip hop and rap history.
Absolutely.
So,
and
DMX
will be missed.
I salute you. I wanted to pour one out for you tonight, but Evo was like, "You're not pouring out no beer on this rug tonight." And I want
to pour one out. I'm like, where? We got.
You will forever be part of my life. So I drink one to you, sir. So moving on tonight, onto our next topic. So something that popped off the last week was, if anyone is familiar with Jimmy Fallon, which if you don't know who Jimmy Fallon is, I almost feel like you're kind of living in a bubble. He has a late night talk show, and funny story, when I researched stuff on YouTube as far as like late night talk shows, like it's like Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel, and like Gina and Evo. But so Jimmy Fallon last week, or like maybe like towards the end of March, he had a person on his show by the name of Addison Rae. So if you're not familiar with who Addison Rae is a gargantuan TikToker. So Emily, if you're still listening, I'm more than sure that you know who Addison Rae is.
Yup.
So Addison Rae was on Jimmy Fallon, and while she was on Jimmy Fallon, she did a couple things. She performed her latest song called Obsession. We will get into that a little bit later.
More like depression. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say that?
Listen, she's 20-year-old young girl. Let's not go there.
Excuse me.
Okay.
This is what I was
but if you
feeling
look at her stats, 74 million.
Killing it.
74 million followers on TikTok. 5.1 billion likes.
Excuse me?
Excuse me?
Come again?
Baking my powder? So Addison Rae was on Jimmy Fallon, and she performed her new song Obsession. And in addition to that, Jimmy Fallon had a little segment with her where then she performed some of the most viral TikTok dances that are going around TikTok, you know, like over the past year. And he kind of had like these cue cards, and like he pulled over a cue card, and whatever the cue card said, then she had to like perform that dance. She does it, boom, the show ends. Fucking Twitter and TikTok went a crazy because Addison Rae was performing.
Oh, hell no.
To the no. Addison Rae was performing. Addison Rae was performing dances from TikTok creators, smaller TikTok content creators, and they were not credited. They were not mentioned. So it looked like, to people who potentially don't know who these other content creators are and where these dances came from, it could potentially look like Addison Rae made these dances.
Well, I mean, listen. Almost everybody's on TikTok. And if you're on TikTok, you had to have seen one of these dances.
Yes.
At one point or another.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that still doesn't excuse the fact that credit wasn't given to where credit was due.
So that is why the internet went fucking crazy. Yeah. And because of that, it got back to Jimmy Fallon, and there was a lot of criticism that went towards his show because of that. They received a lot of backlash. I want to just say that I now applaud Jimmy Fallon, because he then went and was like, oh shit, obviously there are people that were not credited for these dances. And the reason why I say this is because, and the reason why I applaud him is because Jimmy Fallon is the face of the Jimmy Fallon show, granted. But let's keep it real. Does Jimmy Fallon not probably have a team of fucking writers and producers that are creating that show for him? And they or she then said to Jimmy Fallon, hey, we have this person, Addison Rae. She's a huge TikToker. She has a new song coming out. This is what we're going to do. She's going to perform some dances. She's going to perform her show. And Jimmy Fallon said, okay.
It was somebody's job to fact check that shit. And they failed miserably.
So I'm just thinking about, once the backlash started to happen, because you know what started to happen was people were adding Jimmy Fallon on Twitter. They were like, who the fuck is this?
Yeah, and you know, listen, and it's not at the network. It's not at his team.
Yes.
It's at Jimmy Fallon.
It's at Jimmy Fallon.
It's like, bro, you represent everybody who fucked up on your team, which is fucked up.
So what I just want to, I just envision what happened behind that, because you and I produce a show, right?
Right.
We have no writers.
No, we don't.
So I just think about what the hell happened when Jimmy Fallon started to get this slack on the internet. How did he walk into the office? Was he just like, hey, Susan?
Oh, hell no.
Jimmy Fallon was like, excuse me, but do y'all not see this shit right here happening on Twitter? Who fucked up? Who's getting fired?
You never seen Jimmy Fallon yelling?
I have not.
He does it on his show, but he does it in a laughing type of way.
But
right, so now imagine that angry.
Yes,
That's him.
I almost envision like Jimmy Fallon being like the chick from Alice in Wonderland, the Queen of Hearts, when she was like, somebody's head's gonna roll for this. Off with their head. Off with their head. That was Jimmy Fallon. Because the heat goes to him. Doesn't go to anybody behind the scenes.
Yeah, well.
So,
oddly.
wait, so Edgar says, Emily says, Charlie D'Amelio was on Jimmy Fallon's show too. Yes, she was. And Charlie D'Amelio is actually... And let me just say this. The conspiracy of something being on my face when we go live is unbeknownst to me. But as a person that works in this industry, I now understand when my talent is like, I don't know, do I have something right here? I used to be like, you know, it's real. Crazy.
Now you know.
Now I
real.
get it. Okay. Yes. So you could take down Addison Rae's thing. So stop doing that.
Come here.
No. So yes, Charlie D'Amelio is similar to Addison Rae in the sense of she does a lot of dances. But the one thing I will say is this. Is one thing I know about Charlie D'Amelio is that she will tag a lot of the original content creators in her posts of the dances. That being said, Jimmy Fallon went ahead and then did the right thing. He then said, we're now going to credit the original content creators of these dances.
And have them on the show.
We're going to have them on the show. Not all of the dances. I guess maybe he wasn't able to, get. I don't really know what the situation was, but he was able to get a good portion of the content creators of the original dances. So, the first dance that one of the dances that Addison Rae did, and make sure that the audio is muted.
Make sure that. Yeah.
Okay. So, the first dance that or one of the dances rather that Addison Rae did was created by a content creator named Maya Nicole Johnson and Chris Cotter, and they created a dance for Cardi B's song "And It's Up," and this is the original dance. And I didn't want to give Addison Rae any more play because her version of this is so dry.
Yeah, super soft.
Okay, I didn't want to play it.
Super fluffy.
But do you see how hard this is?
It's like milk and cookies.
Okay, this shit is just like when
this
it's up,
shit
when
slaps.
it's up, when it's up and it's stuck, when it's up and it's up and it's up and it's stuck. Hey,
this shit make me want to just break my neck. Just
right. Okay, so this was the original dance of Up, created by Maya Nicole Johnson and Chris Cotter. This song is hard. That dance is hard. And the version that... You should see your face, Evo. When Addison Rae did this on Jimmy Fallon, I was like, oh, dear God. Somebody please help me.
Listen, all those dances. You know what's funny?
I'm sorry, you need rhythm to do these dances?
You know what's funny, right? Is that... I'm going to sound like a real fuddy-duddy right now. I had no idea who she was. Up until today. Okay. When you brought this to my attention. Mm-hmm. Never seen her before. Didn't even know anything about this whole scandal that happened with her. And when I saw her, I said, oh, she reminds me of the other girl, Charlie D'Amelio. Charlie D'Amelio, yeah. So I'm like, what's the problem? Like, I don't understand what the actual beef was, But then finding out that she got put on the show and there was no credit given, and I was like, all right, I understand now. But I mean, even watching it, I was like, really? Like this? She got 70-something million followers, dancing like this. Where's the talent? Where is it? Like what? So what are people actually tuning into?
So, one of the things that I can say that I think that a lot of people are attracted to when it comes to social media as a whole is basically the fallacy of what they're being shown. So there are images that are portrayed on social media of perfection, and she exudes a level of perfection.
Okay.
So I think that there is an attraction to that. I could be totally wrong, but that is one of the reasons why I almost am never on Instagram anymore, because the amount of bullshit that I see on there kind of makes me not want to be on there because everything is edited, everything is filtered.
Yeah.
And perception is not reality. That being said, recently, I didn't even really want to bring this up, but I don't know if you're aware about this whole thing that happened with Khloe Kardashian. Did you see this whole thing that happened with her?
There's many things that happen with Khloe
Okay,
Kardashian.
no.
So what are we talking about specifically?
Okay, so more recently, within the last week, Khloe Kardashian's grandmother uploaded unedited, unfiltered photo of her on a trip. She's in a bathing suit, and she looks like a regular smegular girl.
Schmegula.
But still nothing. Like, honestly, she looks, in my opinion, she looks beautiful.
Yeah, but she's just not tweaked out.
Yeah.
The way she usually always is.
Her lawyer team has made it where they have scrubbed every image of that on the internet. And if you upload that image, you will then be pursued legally for copyright issues.
Damn.
Because she did not want that image out there of her.
Drink your prune juice, Grandma.
That being said, I do think that there still is an attraction to that level of what is perceived perfection, the way a girl looks, the way she's perceived.
Yeah.
And I think people are attracted to that because maybe they aspire to want to be that.
You know what that reminds me of? It reminds me of the Key and Peele skit.
Which one?
Delete it.
Delete it.
Delete it.
Like, oh my God, take a picture. Oh my God, delete it.
Let's take a selfie. Oh my God, I have puke face. Delete it. So like, I could just. That's exactly what Khloe did. She fucking deleted it.
I don't follow any of the Kardashians, but I am on Twitter quite avidly, and that just came across my feed. I could really give a fuck. But I will say it's almost sad to me that she doesn't want to be viewed in the public eye as a normal person and only wants images put out there that are filtered and edited, which then further.
Well, she's kind of. She's a brand.
Khloe? No, she's not.
She's part of the Kardashians. I mean,
okay, that's fine. But that being said, what does that have to do with her just looking like a regular girl?
It doesn't. You're absolutely right. It doesn't have anything to do with it because J-Lo puts herself out there like regular schmegula.
Listen.
And, and I think that's great that, that a woman would do that, be that vulnerable to show people like, that, like there's this glamour life and then there's real life. Like, don't get it twisted.
Agreed.
Like, one is not the other. You know what I'm saying? And I think more people need to be like that, but unfortunately they're not, and obviously you see that to the extent of what they will go to live up to that facade.
So Edgar says, notice that Emily has taken over and I have to do her bidding, but it's all good. It's all good, Emily. You fam. Do what you need to do. And then Melissa says, don't feel bad, Evo. I didn't know who she was either. And she's talking about Addison Rae.
Right.
And then Melissa says, they all looked regular, but she doesn't even look anything like she used to. She might as well be in the witness protection program.
Damn.
Like I said previously, I could give a fuck about any of the Kardashians. I really don't even care. But I will say this. I'm happy that Kanye's out.
How's the saying go? You could get a microscope, take a look inside my body, and try to find a single cell that actually gives a fuck.
Yeah, because I could give a fuck. So let's go on to the next dance that Addison Rae did on Jimmy Fallon, and it was Dorian Scott doing Corvette, Corvette, gonna hop in through Corvette, Corvette, and this is the originator of this dance. I love this boy's energy so fucking much.
Yeah, he's turned
but
up.
You know what I love about him so much when he does the like this when he hits it. So and then the next dance is Furquan Powell and Kamara Franklin doing Laffy Taffy. He is the originator of this dance. I love this. Again, I love this kid's energy so much, and I don't know what it is about because their energy is just so raw and they're just having a good time.
Yeah. It looks like he's performing here, right?
Yes, he is performing. He did the remix to Laffy Taffy.
Oh,
So that
all right.
so on top of the fact that he wasn't credited for the dance, he actually did the remix of Laffy Taffy on his own. So it's almost kind of like a double entendre where like he wasn't credited on top of that, you know?
Right.
All right. So then this is a trio of 3 guys, Adam, Nate.
Nope.
Oh, I'm sorry, Savage. I apologize. This girl did a choreography dance to Savage. This went fucking viral. Yo, and I can tell you that I remember so much of this part right here. I'm a savage. Sassy, bougie, nasty. Right? So yeah, she choreographed this. This went viral. Addison Rae did this one too. No credit. And then last but not least was the trio of 3 gentlemen, Adam, Nate, and Greg. They did To Blind Lights. And you know what is really funny? I listened to their backstory. They said that this is a dance that they kind of did to begin with. They just added a few parts. That shit went fucking viral. Nobody got any fucking credit. So to wrap it up, I would just like to say that I appreciate Jimmy Fallon for righting a wrong and saying these people need their credit.
So here's the beauty of what is to come. You know what solves all that? The blockchain.
Oh my God. Evo, you and your fucking blockchain, bro.
The blockchain.
I don't know why when you said that to me, I just thought about, and when we're done with this live, I just want to eat chips.
What does the blockchain have to do with chips?
I don't know. Maybe because when you said blockchain, I thought block chips, like a block of chips.
No.
I don't know.
As soon as you create a piece of digital content, it is verified and written on the blockchain.
Ooh.
by users, okay? By miners. So miners, they solve problems so that they can write transactions on the blockchain. And when they write these transactions on blockchain, it is you cannot change it or edit it. And if these creators could put their content on to the blockchain, the creator of the content would be recognized forever.
That shit would be finite.
That's what I'm talking about. It's coming.
TikTok. Content creators.
Blockchain technology.
Blockchain's where it's at. Contact my husband, Evo.
Melissa says she hear block chips.
Okay, so look, she said, I hear block chips too. So listen, this is why she's my friend, because she knew. I don't know why when you said it, I was like, block chips?
Melissa will always co-sign your shit.
That is not true.
She co-signed my shit too.
Excuse me. She co-signs your shit on the regular.
That's why I love her.
Okay? Do you not remember our vacation together?
I remember our vacation together.
So I just would like to say that she was Team Evo. So Stephanie says, do you guys have any thoughts on Whoa Vicky on TikTok? I really don't understand a word she says, but she's so popular. Stephanie, I will say this. I have no idea.
Is that white girl?
I have no idea who she's talking about.
Yeah, she's like, I'm gonna go on a limb here. I'm thinking it's a skinny white girl. She's like country. And she's like, you know, kind of ghettoed out and talks with like a southern hard slang. And it's
Stephanie, tell us.
It's hard to understand what she says.
Tell us if that. Yes, please tell us if that is who you're talking about. I actually have no idea who this person is. I will say this: if you scroll through my TikTok, y'all would get a good laugh because it's literally just fucking Marvel, cats, home improvement videos, people rescuing animals,
right.
Silly dances. It is literally just a ball of fun. And Stephanie says, yes, Evo, you are correct.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. Yeah.
So I actually don't know who she is. So answer this. I appreciate this.
Yeah, I will play this person to you, and I'm telling you, Gina, I know you.
Are my eyes gonna roll back in my head?
Gina, you won't be able to take more than 10 seconds of this girl.
Okay, so that brings me to another point, and we're gonna wrap up this segment. Addison Rae's new song, Obsessed. Do yourself a favor. After this live,
don't listen to it. Do yourself that favor. Don't look it up. Don't listen to it. Don't give it any more streams or views.
Oh, you know what?
Than it already has. Please do not. I mean, listen. I give credit to where credit's due, and I mean, and there's been a couple of songs where, you know, I probably wasn't my cup of tea, but I listened to it because it had a, you know, it has something catchy to it. It's just not happening.
It's no bueno.
It's no bueno. I don't like that ending.
Doja Cat and SZA just came out with a new song. I'm gonna say this. I wasn't the biggest fan of it, but boy, is it still a beautiful song. I'm a SZA fan, but anyway, that's a whole nother side note. And I will say this. I reposted a clip from that video and I added the makeup artist on it because the makeup in that new video is off the fucking chain, and the makeup artist retweeted my post.
That's what's up.
That's what's up. And you know why? Because you know what? I give credit where credit is due. That makeup was fire in that video.
Credit should always be given where credit is due, and it's a shame that it's not. People will look to steal your shit.
So, just to wrap up this segment, if you would like a good laugh, just go listen to Addison Rae's new song, Obsessed. And I implore you, I know Evil said don't give it no more streams, but watching the video is a good laugh. Maybe even just watch it with no audio, because it is honestly, the best word to describe it is cringy.
Listen,
I cringed.
I am one to watch things that Gina will wonder why the fuck I even gave the shit so much time and watched it. And I could not finish watching this video. So that should just tell you something. All right? I'm going to leave you with that.
I just want to say that Stephanie says, Gina, I must see your reactions to Whoa Vicky. And I'm going to tell you this. Funny you say that. Evo and I actually want to start doing reaction videos. Yes. Now that we have a little bit of a different setup.
Yeah.
That is soon to come.
Yeah.
I appreciate someone kind of like hinting on that a little bit. So that actually brings us to our top 5 for the night.
Yeah. So
it's 9:20. We started at 8:15.
Yeah.
So 9:15 is an hour. So we go to another 30 minutes from at 9:45. So we got 25 minutes to do our top 5, which is more than enough time.
Okay. So rolling right off of the backs of Jimmy Fallon's "Who the fuck let this shit get by?" we have the top 5.
By the way, I love that you said Jimmy Fallon's backs. Like he has more than one.
We was rolling right off his back.
All the writers and the producers that let that shit just get fucked up.
All right. Top 5. Top
and
5.
Emily, I'm sorry that we're cursing so much.
Top 5 worst internet challenges.
Were they the worst though? Some of them were pretty fun.
I want to say these are the worst.
Really?
Yes, because they're we'll get into that. We'll get into that.
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. All right. So coming in,
the bitches on crunk, eyebrows on fleek.
At number 4.
Number 4. Wow, you skipped number 5.
Whoa, slow down. Oh, my selector, bring it back. Come rewind.
Oh no, guys, the wine is kicking in. Evo said, "Fuck number 5. We just gonna go to number 4."
Okay. All right, coming in at number 5, numero 5.
I would say that our category for tonight is actually top 5 most viral internet challenges.
No, these are the worst.
They're not the worst.
These are the top.
They're the most viral.
They're the worst. I feel like these are the worst ones. They're the most viral because they are the worst. These are like the what the fucks.
Really?
I feel like that to me. They're like what the fuck. Like
I know, but like
especially looking at them now that they're gone. It's like
I love you, but we went over this.
I know we went over this. What the fuck? Look, coming in at number 5. What the fuck? My guy.
My guy.
What are you doing? Huh? Are you on the clock for this shit? Huh? You at work planking. Like this was a thing. People were planking all over the place. Some people were planking on fucking fire hydrants.
Wait.
Can you imagine planking on a fire hydrant?
Oh my god.
Look at this dude eating. You know how many asses were on that fucking copy machine?
Listen.
Huh?
You know what? When I look at this looks like potentially like Oh, this is an office of some
Yes,
sort.
he's got his face in a copy machine. How many people put their asses on that shit?
Evil said, "Are you on the clock?
Huh? Are you on the clock, bro?
You getting paid for this shit?" And this is why companies, when they think about going from remote back into office, they should not do that shit. Okay, because this is what people be doing in the office.
You know what I'm saying? And like
wasting time planking.
And to think that people put so much time and energy. Like, do yourself a favor, go on Google and search planking internet challenge and look at the shit that fucking people loaded up. People were doing in planking, but you will have yourself quite a nice laugh. I don't know why. I guarantee you that.
I don't know why when you like, when we're talking about fucking planking, all of a sudden my mind just went Corvette. Oh my God. And Eddie says, no worries, she hears it all the time. Okay, that makes me feel better. I'm Eddie, and I will tell you this. In our household, it is the same thing. We do not refrain from using language that is considered foul, because at the end of the day, it is language.
Is that me or you?
That's me.
That's you.
Excuse me 1 second. Go ahead, continue.
All right, so coming in at number 4.
Wait, hold on.
And I say that these are the worst because as what we're about to start rolling into are challenges of people doing things to themselves. So you're potentially harming yourself in some of these internet challenges just to get views and to be like, to kind of like.
You mean to get clout?
To get clout, right?
Yeah.
And so coming in at number 4 is the cinnamon challenge. Now, if you ever remember the cinnamon challenge, you remember this lady right here. She is, when you think of cinnamon challenge, this should be the cinnamon challenge, right? If you look up cinnamon challenge in the dictionary, this is what should come up in the dictionary right here. It was this lady right here doing the cinnamon challenge.
What is that? Does she have like a bucket?
I don't know. It looks like she's fucking trying to drink out of the air fryer is what she looks like she's doing.
This is way before an air fryer.
I know, but it looks like an air fryer. Like, what is that thing? Huh? Is that a Brita water filter? Is that what it is? She just picked up the whole filter and tried to drink that shit?
I don't know what that is, but that looks like the things I water my plants with. So it is pretty extensive how much cinnamon she could. Oh wait, maybe she did the cinnamon and then she was drinking from it.
She did the cinnamon challenge.
Okay.
She did the cinnamon challenge, and then to the left, you see like her coughing out the cinnamon, and then all of a sudden she's drinking. And I don't know if you. Do yourself a favor, if you haven't seen this video, go on YouTube, search this video, and you will see why this went viral.
So, Edgar says, if you've ever saw The Office episode when they did the fire drill, that is classic. Edgar. The Office is my shit.
I didn't watch all the seasons of The Office, so I'm not well versed in that.
I am well versed in it, and I know exactly what he's talking about.
Tell us about it. Fill us in. Let me know.
No. But I don't want to. I don't want to get into that. I'm just gonna say that The Office is my shit.
But I want to know what the drill is.
No. I want to share another story. I want to share a different story. So Melissa kind of jumped ahead. I'm not gonna even say what Melissa just said right now.
I was.
Okay. Wait. Melissa's jumping ahead, but I still appreciate her because she said something that I had no idea. But I just want to share a story real quick. But I don't want to talk about The Office. I just want to say The Office is my shit. Cinnamon challenge. I actually have a video that I've downloaded off of Facebook, and our son Anthony did the cinnamon challenge with Sarah.
Oh, really?
They were little kids, and it was so cute to me because Anthony. I'm sorry, Anthony. I apologize ahead of time. He still had braces, and they put like cinnamon in like a spoon, and they were like doing it together. And like, I don't know how was it that I got access to this video because I didn't know about it originally, and I didn't see the video till like 2 years later. And Anthony was like, I want to say at this time almost like 16, 17 years old, and because his braces were not on anymore, and he had braces on in the video, and him and Sarah were doing it in their house together. And I just remember thinking that the two of them were going to get married, and that definitely wasn't the case. But I love Sarah, and Sarah, I miss you. Just so you know, you were like my illegitimate daughter. But I thought it was the cutest thing because they did the cinnamon challenge together, and they were like coughing and laughing together. And honestly, like, it just reminds me of my youth, where me and my friend, and her name shall not be said, but we used to sniff pixie sticks. You never sniffed a pixie stick?
Hell no. I eat a whole bunch of nutmeg though.
Really? Oh, Oh yes, okay, I know why, but we're not
Yes.
gonna get into that.
Thank you very
So
much.
wait, I wrote a song about it. Like to
Like
hear,
to
here,
hear
it go.
go.
That was number 4.
That was number 4.
Okay,
Yes.
so let's move on to number 3 because we're not gonna talk about why you fucking doing that.
All right, so coming in at number 3, here's another one that it was just dumb. This the dumbest thing you could have did. I don't understand why this shit caught traction and went viral, but it's the motherfucking ice bucket challenge.
Whoo, ice bucket challenge.
How much fucking water got wasted on this planet doing the fucking ice bucket challenge? People across in third world countries were fucking cursing out.
They were pissed off.
They were pissed off.
Yo, tell them about your people from DR, Evil. How mad they were. They were like, yo, y'all just throwing water on yourself.
And all over the place. Like, yo, there's people that fucking go weeks without water. Meanwhile, these motherfuckers are just dumping on their heads. Like, yo,
ice bucket challenge. I remember this one, and I remember just thinking to myself, like, is this what we're doing with ourselves right now? Pouring water on our heads? But then again, when I think about it, I'm like, God, would I rather be doing that than be wearing a mask everywhere right now?
of course. But,
I know, like simpler times.
let me tell you something. If you ever lived without water
Yes.
for more than a couple of days,
Yes.
this shit was stupid as hell.
Yes.
Stop fucking dumping that water on your fucking head, motherfucker. Yo, that shit was stupid.
Yo, Evil's getting violent.
I'm
right now.
pissed. I'm just looking at this picture. It just makes me mad. It makes me mad because, like, you know, you have people that collect water, that cherish water, that, you know, like, water is life. And, of course, leave it up to fucking America to do this dumb
The
shit.
country, a plethora,
Yeah.
where people are dying because they have too much, not because they have too little.
Yeah. Well. So.
Can I just ask you a question before
Sure.
you move on to number 2? There was something that you wanted to talk about that we talked about earlier in the week that I was like, yeah, please talk about that. Are you going to talk about that after this?
If we have time, I'll touch on it.
Yes. Okay. I just want to make sure that
Yeah,
you
I have
still.
it here.
Okay. I just want to make sure that you still had that like on your block.
Yeah, if we got, we could talk
If
about
we
it.
have time, honestly, because I just thought it was kind of interesting. I didn't know if that was something. Sorry, I just wanted to like touch base
Yeah,
with you on
absolutely. Yeah, we
that.
could.
Maybe
talk
we
about
should have did that earlier, but actually, because I was so fucking stressed the fuck out, I didn't even remember to ask you that. But go ahead, continue. Let's go on to number 2.
All right, so coming in at number 2, I don't know how many people know about this. I mean, I knew about this, but when I spoke to you about it, you didn't know about it.
Hold that thought real quick. So Edgar says, I did it with ice and water and gave it to charity for MS. For the ice bucket challenge.
How do you? Wait, wait. How did you give the ice and water to charity?
So
if you
Edgar,
did the bucket challenge?
I would love for you to elaborate a little bit. You said you did it with ice and water and gave it to charity for MS. Maybe they were having it as like a competition.
I mean, if he was raising money,
So
that'd be great.
So
that would be. Beautiful.
I'm just gonna take a stab at it, Edgar. I'm just gonna think that you mean, okay, Evo, you and I are on the wrong side of ice bucket challenge, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna say that I think maybe Edgar paid a couple of dollars to enter into the ice bucket challenge, and then the money that he paid to enter into that challenge went to charity.
Well, that's a little bit different, Edgar. So Edgar, I mean, Edgar, look, just so you're a little bit of backstory. I spent 7 years in the Dominican Republic, my man, and many times we lost power for weeks. We lost water for weeks. And, you know, when you have to live your life cherishing water and conserving it and saving it for days that where you don't have it and water is essential, you kind of look at things differently. You know, it's kind of like what we spoke about earlier when people, they die and then they come back to life. You know, you look at life differently. It's just something that you have to go through. And unless you've experienced it, you know, you're just not going to know. So it made me feel some type of way, but I couldn't expect everybody to feel that way. That was just my personal feelings.
But if they're doing it for charity, that's just different.
That's different. Yeah, of course. There's a good cause behind it. I'm talking about just the wasteful aspect of it. People are just doing it for views. You know what I'm saying? Like,
agree. And that is very different from doing it from charity.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. You know, I mean, there was a good cause behind that. You know, so of course, yeah, absolutely.
I would also like to say that We currently have 8 people viewing our stream, and if you're enjoying the stream, please go ahead and smash that like button. As many likes as we can get really helps our stream. We're really trying to continue to grow. We're growing in certain aspects of our stream, and we're really happy about that. We're actually about to surpass almost 2,000 subscribers or followers rather on TikTok, which Evo and I are really happy about. But we would love to continue growing on YouTube because this is where we stream live. So if you're enjoying the stream, please go ahead and smash that like button. But that was number 3.
That was number 3. And real quick, so Max says, yes, the Ice Bucket Challenge was part of raising awareness for ALS, but got out of hand
for clout.
Yes. And just on a side note, not many people are aware of this, but water is now a commodity. It is traded on the stock market.
Oh, shit.
Yes.
I did not know that.
Yes.
Leave it up to Evo to know that.
So, beware in the future, water, commodity. This shit is going to get scarce.
And I would just like to say, Max, you would be really proud of our current setup.
Yes, you would, Max. You would love this shit.
Because Max
You'd be proud of us.
Because Max is the OG of setups.
Yeah, Max.
I remember, and for anyone that doesn't know on the stream, and I'm just putting it on Front Street, Max is my brother, and he's my little brother. And I remember from more than a decade ago, my little brother building a computer from the ground up.
Yeah. So
and me being like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And meanwhile, like if he saw our setup right now, he'd be proud.
Max, I just built an eGPU and I have it set up onto my laptop so that we can run 1080 out to this stream because my laptop just wasn't cutting it with the with the graphics card that it came with. Anyway, a little tech talk for me and Max there.
Yeah, tech talk. Tech talk.
So moving along. All right, coming in at number 2 is the fire challenge.
And Melissa said this previously.
No, she didn't say this.
She did. No, she did.
I missed that one.
Melissa said it. She says, or when kids were put on alcohol themselves and lighting them asses up.
Yes. They're like Tom Hanks from freaking Castaway. We hot fire.
Yo, I literally... I did not see this. When did this trend happen?
Yo, people, they were going into the shower. They were dousing themselves with lighter fluid
or alcohol,
lighting themselves on fire, and then and then extinguishing themselves.
Are you like? I don't even understand what the fuck is that about.
Yo.
Let me just tell you what I think about when I think about this.
Offset said it best in his album. We do anything for clout. Do anything for clout.
I love that album.
Yo.
Forefathers?
Yes.
I'm going to just say this about this challenge. I'm going to tell you what this challenge reminds me of. And this is going to just show you a little bit of my hood. You know how we played with fire back when we were kids? It's when we were trying to fry roaches. And we took a bottle of Aquanet and a lighter, and we put and we would spray the bottle of Aquanet, and we put a lighter in front, and we would burn roaches that way.
That's like when you would light a fucking your fart. You would put.
Excuse me, sir. Listen, I've never done that.
I mean, that must be a guy thing. That's definitely a guy thing.
Thank you. That's definitely a guy thing. Yeah. I have never lit a fire my entire life.
Listen, look at me.
Wait. So, and Max says, "I'm so proud of you guys." And Max, we are so proud of you. Just so that we're putting it out there. And then Max says, yes, social media clout. And then Edgar says, I see your point, Evo, but that is in DR. Here in the States, we have the ability to use excess water we have to raise funds for ALS. However, we should our excess to help other causes beyond ALS. So, I think you two have totally two separate discussions. Yours is because of the lack of resource, and there is an abundance of resource here, so they're using it for good reasons. So, but when you come from a place where there's a lack of that type of resource,
I'm sure that the rest of the world could have found 100 different ways to raise awareness for ALS, but it's all in the past now.
But in DR, the focus is not ALS. Maybe the focus is the lack of something.
Right, but so if they want to raise awareness for something in DR, they would do it in a way that they could.
Yeah.
And without wasting resources. And that is
to Edgar's point, is that it was done in the US in a way that we could, right?
Right.
And then Melissa says, yes, kill the bugs with hairspray. She knows what I'm talking about, because I have vivid memories of doing that.
Yep.
And I'm not ashamed to say that. And I will just say this. One of the things that I find so interesting about being on social media is that when I put content out there, I just want to say that the clips that I'm putting out there, for the most part, are no more than 60 seconds. And the assumptions that people make about who I am as a person make me laugh so hard. This is why when people come at me on TikTok, I'm just like,
well, you know,
I laugh so hard because I'm just like, these people have no fucking clue who I am.
You have to remember, they're seeing, I want to call it Planet Honda, Gina.
They're seeing a snapshot of me.
Yes, they're seeing only one side of you.
Yes.
And so you can't really give a lot of merit to what they're saying.
But that's fine. But you don't have to make assumptions. When you assume, you make an ass out of yourself.
But they're making assumption based on what they see, and that's all they know. So like there's not much else to go on, and that's just what happens in the world of social media.
And that's fine. So then pose a question instead of making an assumption.
You're giving people way too much credit.
And that's fine that I'm giving people too much credit, because when I'm not completely sure about what I'm seeing, I will ask a question. I will always ask a question. I will always lead with a question.
But that's you. You're a single individual, and for you to
you're 100% right.
For you to project that expectation on other people.
No, I'm not.
You're saying
I'm not projecting it.
You're saying that's what you're saying though.
I'm saying that's what I do.
You're saying why not do this? Why not do this? This is what I would do. So you're projecting that onto other people.
I said that's what I lead with.
That's what you lead with. But you were saying that as an example as what should be done.
No, I'm just saying that's what I lead with.
All right, fine.
I'm just saying that's what I lead with.
Okay. All right.
So it just makes me laugh. Is what I'm saying is that I always lead with a question when I'm unsure. That is why I find it so hilarious that when people make assumptions, and instead of them leading with a question, they assume.
Yeah.
So I find it entertaining because they then open the floodgates for me to tear them a new asshole. Because I'm just like, the fuck did you say?
Gina be in the background like sharpening her blades up.
Because I just find it so interesting because people have no idea. And like I will refer to one recent comment where someone talked about a comment, a person made a comment on a rapper that I spoke about, and they were like, how old are you? And I was like,
yo, y'all have to see Gina.
Fam,
you have
only
to see
if
Gina
you
reading these comments. I swear to God, in her mind, she has a toothpick, and she's like, what the fuck, this nigga? Oh, hell no.
Oh, hell no. To the no. And it is honestly, it makes my day to put these people in their grave. Because one of the things that I have learned in real life is people will behave a way until they are shown something different. So when trolls come on internet or come on social media and they troll people and people don't go back at them, the troll then feels empowered. They feel like, oh, I got this person. This person doesn't even have anything to say back to me.
Right.
But when I go back at them, and I almost use their own logic against them, it makes people feel like, oh my God, what did I just say? Because I'll give you an example. I had a person recently come on on TikTok and say to me something about a comment that I talked about when we were talking about breakfast sandwiches, right? And I said, ain't nobody want no pork roll, egg and cheese. In New York, we want a bacon, egg and cheese. And the person wrote, what are you talking about? Those bean balagas are the same type of salty meat. And I wrote back, what the fuck are bean balagas?
And what does a bacon, egg and cheese have to do with it? How is that a bean balaga?
I said, so I wrote back, what the fuck is a bean balaga? And the person wrote, is English not your first language? You could have inferred that bean balaga is a type of bologna or something like that. And then I wrote back, is English not your first language? I'm not the person misspelling bologna, dumbass. So at the end of the day, I just want to implore everybody, if you're ever trolled, just find a way to comment back to that person in a way where you're almost deflecting their comment back at them.
Yeah.
Because what it does is it makes them see themselves. And they're just like, oh shit, did I just say that? I didn't mean to say that. That's not what I meant to say. And then they go back into their little shell and they're just like, shit. Because these people like to hide behind a fake profile, a blank profile,
Right.
of nothing. And I just find it so entertaining. And I just had to share that real quick. But I believe that brings us to our number one for the night, doesn't it?
It does.
What is our number one most internet viral fucking challenge?
Number one worst internet fucking viral challenge is called the Go Kill Yourself.
What?
Motherfucking Tide Pods.
Oh. He was like, go kill yourself.
Because you might as well go kill yourself. Like, really?
I kill myself.
Yo,
I kill myself.
motherfuckers were putting Tide Pods in their mouth just for fucking clout.
Do anything for clout.
Apparently, they do anything for clout. What the like? You must like this. This is so potentially harmful to your body.
Potentially.
And the fucking if they swallow it.
Stores had to stop selling Tide Pod, and they had
Yeah.
to put on the label, it's not for consumption.
Yeah, because fucking people are idiots. And it's fucking only in America. Because they wasn't doing this shit in other countries.
You know what's so funny to me with the water bucket challenge and the Tide Pod challenge? You could have did a load of laundry.
You could have, but all of these things had to do with like inflicting something on yourself. You know what I mean? That's why I call these the worst internet challenges.
Okay, I can see that.
These people are they're bringing potential harm to themselves just for some type of fucking recognition.
Yes, I can see that.
You know what I'm saying? And it's the dumbest thing ever. It's the dumbest thing ever you could ever do. And this takes the fucking cake. Right here. Look at this fucking thing. Like, what, like, motherfucker, what do you, like, what is that? A mothball on fucking, what, like, on like a Jello fucking block? I don't, like, why? Why would you put this in your mouth? Why, like, where is the common sense? Like, what did you fucking, what did you grow up next to a fucking microwave all your life?
I'm just going to tell you that people lack common sense.
Apparently, like, yo, stop. No, don't. I'm sorry.
Okay, so I'm just going to read some comments. So Melissa says, Max says, how about throwing lighters just, how about throwing lighters just in the right way that they blow up or fly away?
Yup. I used to love doing that shit.
I would firmly agree with that. And then Edgar says, hairspray, really? How about using a chancla? A chancla to kill them bugs. I say cause I'm bald, LOL.
Yo, so Edgar, right?
There's a throw behind hairspray and a lighter.
I got some new shit, right?
Wait, let me read this other comment real quick. So Max says, I think Men in Black said it the best. A person is smart. People are dumb. Panicky, dangerous animals, and you know it. And then Edgar says, damn, whippersnappers with the Tide Pods similar to huffing spray paint.
Yep. But see, that wasn't an internet challenge. But even though that was a thing,
it wasn't an internet challenge. But it definitely did.
That was just like a fucking a thing that motherfuckers did, right? But this was something that people did to record themselves doing and to try to get clout.
And again, if you're enjoying the stream, please go ahead and smash that like button because we are trying to grow. And sometimes I wake up the next morning, I'm like. Yeah. There was like 20 people on the stream. Only people liked it.
Tell a friend to tell a friend.
Yeah, no, but regardless, we still appreciate everybody that's on the stream with us tonight. So it is actually 9:45. We have about so I can't even tell you how confused I am by time right now.
So we would normally be ending right now.
Yeah, because
we would normally be ending at 9:30.
Yeah.
But we went to 9:47, yeah. So that's the 15 minutes.
So listen, I would really love for you to talk about this VR thing.
Okay. So let's talk about it.
But I have a stipulation.
Oh, yeah, what's that?
If you want to talk about the VR thing, you have to let me drink your wine.
Hell no.
Why are you drinking this?
We got more of that. You could have that.
I don't want that.
Okay, well.
But why can't you let me have this and you drink this?
Because that's water.
Yeah, because but I can't drink this.
First of all, but that's water.
I know, but you can get some more of that upstairs. Okay. I can't drink this.
You can have some of my wine.
I'm
enjoying my wine.
Edgar, and everybody on the live. I say Edgar first because Edgar's always the first one to enter.
Edgar's team Gina.
I just want to say this. I can't drink this because we are redoing our kitchen, ladies and gentlemen. And if Eva wants me to do our kitchen tomorrow, this is not part of that.
Okay, so don't drink it.
Okay.
You can have some of my wine.
Okay, thank you. So please tell us about this VR because honestly, I'm so interested.
Yo,
in
you
it.
see how she set me up? Y'all see that, right? This is my life story. Yo, you love stealing my drinks.
You see this right here?
Mm-hmm.
You see this? Because I got on the OG right now. This the OG. That's
OG, not why I put a ring on it.
This OG right here. And there are 3 people on the stream tonight that can attest to why this right here says I could drink that. Thank you.
Look, he said don't do it.
And Stephanie says some people are so stupid they don't even know that they're being outsmarted.
Oh my God, I'm telling you right now, it makes my fucking brain hurt.
Edgar, it's over for evil. He signed on the dotted line.
All right, so one thing that I have been secretly passionate about for a long time right now is VR, right?
AKA virtual reality.
AKA virtual reality gaming in specific. So I went to my brother-in-law's house and we spent the night. And after a night of drinking and festivities and, you know, fun activities that we were doing, everybody ended up going to sleep, and he had a PS3 with the VR headset, and I couldn't sleep.
And you played the Batman game.
Well, no, we did that during the day.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
But at night, I ended up playing Forza, which is a racing game.
I didn't know anything about that, but I remember the Batman game.
Yes. So I ended up playing Forza till like almost 4 a.m.
Did you?
Yes.
By the way, Stephanie says, happy wife, happy life.
Yeah, that's what they say. And I notice how she has my drink right now. So, yeah, I'm fully aware how that works.
Stephanie, just... Oh, thank you. I'm glad you said it.
But
he knows.
But Stephanie, you can't let them trample over you. You gotta put some muscle in it. You know, you gotta.
Look at my face.
Yeah.
Look at my face,
no.
Stephanie.
Mm-hmm. No, you can't. Stephanie, you just can't let them win. You know what I'm saying? You gotta make them work for it.
Mm-hmm.
That way they feel like, you know, like they won something.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Sure. But go ahead, continue about your VR.
So
I love your mama.
So I was instantly hooked. I had the greatest time playing this VR game. I love racing games to begin with. I mean, it was just one.
This is 100% true.
I love racing games. I mean, yeah. I have them on my phone. I've had them on.
What was that racing game that you used to play on PlayStation? I love that game.
Need for Speed, Need for Speed, and Need for Speed Dub Edition.
No, there was another game that you played on PlayStation. I don't think you remember it. It was a game that I almost feel like Ava and you play it on your iPhone now. That there was a version of it on PlayStation.
No, there was something like that on PlayStation, but the one on my phone is different.
Okay.
But I have one on my phone as well. And more recently, I have been really contemplating getting the Oculus 2 because I want a VR racing here at home, and I ended up not getting it. But something came across my radar that blew my fucking mind away, and I'm so excited, and I can't wait to experience it. And they have come out with underwater VR.
I saw some footage of this. I'm thoroughly wowed by this.
So the concept of this is that they put you in a pool, right, and then they strap something to your waist, right, and I believe it's like it's almost like this thing that it hangs low and it like kind of hangs down by the floor of the pool, and it has like a fan on it, so it can like propel you through the water. And then you have a VR headset that's waterproof, and in the VR headset you're able to play games that allow you to fly. Mm-hmm. So you're weightless. You have this weightless element to you, and you're in this VR. And if you know anything about VR, you know VR is real because you've seen videos of there's plenty of videos of people in VR falling over flat on their face, like doing these VRs where they're like walking across.
We actually went to Kalahari and you and Anthony did VR together and it was pretty cool.
Yeah, and so there's videos of VR people like doing these VRs where they're like walking skyscrapers and tripping and falling and then almost feeling like they fell off the top of a skyscraper.
Stop real quick. I just want to say how much I love my brother Max right now for fucking dropping this dime right. He said, Gina, Tokyo Extreme Racer Zero. Remember that shit, Gina? That was the game that you played, Evo. It was the Tokyo Extreme Drift game that you played on PlayStation.
No, that wasn't it.
Evo?
I know my games.
The game where you street race on Japanese highways, flagging people down to race. Yes, Evo, you played that on PlayStation. That was the game that I'm talking about. But anyway, fine, you don't remember that. And then Edgar says, racing games is my shit. From Mario Kart to Formula 1, let's do it.
Let's do it. Yo.
And Stephanie says, my friend Samsung 7 Edge had amazing VR. The Oculus is now owned by Facebook. VR is an amazing experience.
It is, right? And so when I looked into it, anyway, getting back to what I was saying, this underwater VR experience allows you to experience VR like you're flying. So the VR, whatever you're seeing in the headset, submerges you in something that it allows you to fly. And you get to experience games where you're flying around or you're floating in the air or you're doing all types of aerial stuff, and you get to do it weightless in water, which is I was mind blown. I was mind blown by it. But what I want is one of those racing simulators.
Yeah, I know you.
Yeah, I want a racing simulator like the one that has
Evo,
it's
I
motorized.
think I'm gonna need to get this for Evo for Christmas.
Yeah, it's like it has the wheel, it has the pedals, it has the shifter, and I don't even need the screens. I just need the VR, and it moves. Where it you get the. Oh man, let me tell you something. I'm almost speechless when I think about how much I love this shit. Anyway, that's my my VR experience. I thought it was crazy that they're actually taking this to the level where they're gonna make it an experience for people that they can come and pay.
Yeah.
And experience this thing that primarily you will never get to experience.
Agreed.
It almost reminds me of the flying experience that you can do, where you go to a place and you put on like this flying wingsuit and you jump into this cylinder where it has a big fan and it elevates you and you can fly and do all this type of aerial tricks.
Yeah.
But without all that friction.
I'm just still bent on the fact that you don't remember your Tokyo Drift.
I do remember Tokyo Drift.
I'm going to bring that up tonight after we get off the live so that you could because that was the game that I was talking about.
Now you know what? You're right. Now that I'm remembering the name.
Because if I'm almost certain, continue talking. I just want you to continue talking. I'm just gonna step off the live. I love the fact that we are no longer bound by mics anymore.
Yeah, it's great.
Because we're gonna end the live in a few minutes, but I just want to say this again. I appreciate everybody for staying on with us tonight. But we used to have lavalier mics where we were wired.
Yes.
So we couldn't step off the live ever. So now I just gotta go like this. I'll be right back.
So, I'm going to read a couple of comments here. So, Stephanie says that
I turned the lights. I'm sorry.
my friend Samsung 7 Edge has an amazing VR. The Oculus is now on. Oh, we already read that. Okay. And Stephanie says, oh my God, my hubby is racing right now on his PS4.
Okay.
I can see that. You know what? I thought about getting the VR for the PS4, and I didn't want to because it has, from what my research shows, is that it has a lot of wires and things like that. And the Oculus is very free. It only has one wire, and it's actually wireless. But the battery lasts only about 2 hours. So if you want to play for more than 2 hours, then you have to have the wire plugged into the headset. But it's just one wire, which I thought it was great. But you're limited on the games. Actually, the PS4, the PS5 has better games. And Max says, "Listen, I can take you down a rabbit hole for VR.
Mm-hmm.
It has come such a long way. I know, bro. I know, and I'm waiting for the right moment to pull the trigger, and I will. I definitely will. I have a 55-inch screen TV upstairs, waiting for a VR."
Okay, so Max, and everybody watching this live right now, I just want to tell you.
Oh shit!
I know exactly what my brother's talking about.
Damn 47.
Because it's right here. Tokyo Extreme Racer Zero. Can
I see the back of this real quick?
Excuse me.
Can I see the back of it real quick?
Fine. Wait, hold on. Let me talk about this game real quick. this game right here, I still have it. And just so that we're clear, I still have a PlayStation 2. We still have this console. And this is the game. And after we get off this live, Evo and I are going to go play this game because I remember that there was a Nissan Skyline in this game. And this is the game that I'm referring to when we're talking about racing games. I wasn't talking about, whatever the hell Evo was talking about. This is the game.
I was talking about Need for Speed.
Yeah, but that is not the game. It was this game that I was talking about. You played this game on the regular. And Max says, listen, I remember that shit. And Max, so that you know, we still have it. And Edgar says, IndyCar, F1, NASCAR, Sprint Cars, World of Outlaws, ARCA, Willem Modified Series, what you need. He's like basically saying, I got you.
Okay. All right.
But like this is how far it goes back for you. Because I remember you playing this game vividly. You don't remember, but I remember. And that almost kind of makes me sad because like I want to say it makes me sad because like I remember you playing this game, and I remember watching you make all the modifications to it. But anyway, and I'm just proud to say, just like how I whipped out my DMX fucking CD earlier tonight, I still have this, and we still have a PlayStation 2. But anyway, that brings us to the end of our live for tonight. I appreciate everybody for joining us tonight. We had a late start this evening. I still appreciate everybody for joining because unfortunately we had some fucking technical difficulties.
But we appreciate you guys for hanging in there
and
tuning in, and ladies for tuning in after all the shenanigans that we had gone through. Yes.
And I drank all of Evo's wine. But until next Friday, where we like to fucking talk some shit, we will see you because it is 10 o'clock on the dot. Everybody have a good night. Peace and love.